Hello, I'm up your Extra Cat, and some people think if you want a new vanilla survival experience, you have to wait for the next update to come out, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Just this last week, there have been seeds discovered, like this one for example, which is not just stunning to stare at, but also has more verticality than probably any other seed you've dealt with. It's like amplified built into the game. Or this survival island seed, which has a village on one side and then a different village on the other, allowing you to work on your storytelling, or if you just want batch insane bonkers, maybe you want to have this woodland mansion directly on an ocean. Oh, and there's also one of these below, making it a woodland monument or an ocean mansion. Whichever way you choose to see things, these are great seeds for anyone who is looking for a new survival experience, and indeed that is something you can do either way when you subscribe to see more Seed Sunday. But anyway, let's jump straight into this first seed, because immediately you can tell this is going to be something special. I mean, it's a mesa biome you spawn in at Y136, and you can immediately climb over the hill, and you realize it's not just a massive mesa, but it's also a jolly big jungle and a well-sized water which divides the two. This is already some very interesting amplified style terrain. However, if you look in third person behind you, you'll see there is a fairly normal sized pillager outpost next to a village there. This is actually quite interesting by itself. I think it's fun to try and save a village from the outpost that's next to it. However, this isn't just a normal village and outpost, because the outpost is actually 100+ blocks tall. That is the bottom of the outpost hitting a village which is at sea level, and this is the top of it well over 150 blocks tall. It's fun to me that you can have a pillager outpost that's so tall but still can have effectiveness in raiding its nearby village and apparently spawning in creepers to help them too. What an incredible thing, and what an incredible view you get from this villager's house up here. I do have to say, it is absolutely nuts to be able to see so much of the world around you, and if you want a vantage point and indeed the amplified experience of trying to work out how to get up and down this, you might enjoy playing around with this. Indeed, you might also enjoy the fact that there's a desert temple this high up. You probably saw it somewhere in the thumbnail or intro, but this is one of the most stunning parts of this world in my opinion. A desert temple so high in the sky that it is covered in snow. That is the opposite of what a desert temple should have, and I absolutely love this seed for it. With that said though, if we quickly jump inside, you will see that there is a full desert temple in here with all of the goodies, including the archaeology and including the chest right here, which can be a really good start to a seed, especially given that desert temples can contain feather falling, which is very funny. I feel like that's an inappropriate time to be offering me that Minecraft, as well as a golden apple, as well as some emeralds, and even sometimes a saddle. Or instead, if you prefer to watch the world burn, you can do something like this, although I really don't know that I recommend it. What I do recommend doing though is jumping right down and taking advantage of a village which is perfectly at ocean level. This makes it very easy to move the villagers around your world, something I know a lot of people are fearful of having to do in the future, but honestly, it's something that is fun to do right now if you want to get villagers of different, biome types, nationalities, colors, whichever way you want to see things. You can do some really fun things here, and this world is one of a few that can give you a stunning view, whether you're at the bottom of the mountain or indeed the top. By the way, something funny I didn't notice on my first time round is that this desert temple right over here actually has a village built into it right here. So you can see that this is not a normal desert temple. It's a desert temple with space for a villager to live, and indeed he's got a bed in there somewhere, but he can never get out because his doorway is broken, which is fun or tragic depending on your viewpoint. Speaking of fun or tragic, I think interesting Minecraft seeds can be both, which is why this second one, by the way, second of 5, all coming from Fragrant Result, one of the most interesting seed finders we've seen in a very long time. This second seed here is very interesting in terms of the formation of it, because immediately you can see that you're on an island with a village, but that village is a plains village despite having a couple of jungle trees right next to it. Indeed, this seems to be the classic example of a biome which is slightly extended across an ocean and given you a tiny bit of jungle despite the fact that you are very, very far away from what looks like the rest of it. Interesting by itself, right? But the other interesting thing about this seed is that it is a village which is on an island, partially off the island too, but it's a village on an island which has, interestingly, a second village on the island, and the same thing has happened on this other side of the island, where again, there is meant to be a savanna biome very far away from this, but instead it takes up some of this island, resulting in 2 villages on one island. I love this if you're looking for a brand new type of world where you're trying to really kind of work on factionalism. You like the Tales of Minecraft itself. This is something Minecraft has really been heavily encouraging you to do since Trails Thousand Tales, but this is two separate villages, both trying to claim the island, and neither of which have fully done so. It is your choice whether you expand one of the villages inwards or the other ones, or personally, if I was in charge of this and I had a full week to really go crazy with it, I'd build a village type of each, variety. I'd build a tiger village, I'd build a jungle village, a swamp village, all on this same island, and have 7 types of villager all living together in beautiful harmony in separate villages around a mega city in the middle maybe. The possibilities really are near endless when it comes to this seed, and so if you want a very interesting island, which is really, kind of 2 partial villages sitting next to each other, this is one of the very few examples where you can find that. It's also not terrible for terrain otherwise. I mean, you can see that it's jungle across 2 separate islands right here, which is kind of crazy, but you can also see that there is a fully fledged ship kind of chilling in the ocean. There's ruin portals, there's all of the other things that you come to expect from a Minecraft seed, so not terrible all in all, and in fact, maybe even a compelling seed that you'll want to try. However, as far as new gameplay experiences, I feel like this one really provides a way to create narrative or building, inspiration, which is very great, don't get me wrong, but I feel like every Minecraft seed gives you the opportunity to make your own narrative and way around it, and although this is particularly interesting, maybe you just want this, but a more interesting survival experience, and so how about the same seed, but instead of 2 villages on one very big island, how about one very big village on a very small island? Welcome to Survival Island, the Villager Way. This will spawn you directly on top of a blacksmith, which is incredible by the way. If you've never experienced these are the best sets of loot in Minecraft, immediately giving me almost full armor, plus 2 pickaxes, plus some apples and some spare iron for benefit, but that's just the blacksmith you spawn on, because there are 2 others found around this place. This gives you an immediate opportunity to not just have a bonus chest, which basically skips the first minute of Minecraft, but instead to have bonus chest plus, where you get to skip the first 10, 20, 30 minutes of Minecraft, and I feel like for many people, those are the minutes that you do time and time again, especially on multiplayer worlds. This will give you an interesting survival experience because you're so far from the nearest landmass. Seriously, I have my render distance set to just under 1,000 blocks, and you can see that with that 1,000 blocks of render distance, I can just about see some vague land over there, I can see some trees in the distance there, and I can just about see an iceberg biome in the very far distance over there, and even then it's not fully rendered in, and so if you want to experience anything that's not this village, you're going to have to work for it, which means that this is a survival island experience that just happens to have a bunch of villagers to kind of be OP survival island. Seriously, the game will give you food, the game will give you tools, but if you want to build anything major, you're still going to have to do it yourself, which I think is a really beautiful opportunity, in my opinion, to play Minecraft in a different way. Personally, I like the early game struggle, but I know a lot of people are out here like, yeah, if I could have a few diamonds to start the game, I would have a lot more fun, because you can move to the part of the game which is all about obtaining those later game resources, getting the perfect enchants and potions, and having every other piece of your gear optimized. If you enjoy the idea of doing that, and you're the sort of person who starts worlds so frequently that you don't enjoy the early game anymore, although personally I think it's always fun, this is a great seed for that. And again, even if you ignore all of the freebies the world gives you, I think it's also just a really compelling survival island experience, and what is there not to love about that? It's a trick question, there's nothing you can't love about that. However, I still have wilder things coming up today. Again, Fragrant Result is a new seed finder, and as best I can tell, no one knows who they are or what's going on. If you're watching this Fragrant Result 186, I would love to know more about your process or how you found any of these seeds, because these are all brand new and fresh. And yeah, with that said though, I think we have to move into the 4th seed from them today, because somehow it's even wilder than this. By the way, this 4th seed is the most normal looking one, I do have to say, and by normal I mean that kind of below average spawn where you're like, why have I got one of these? I think the nice thing now, at least with the azalea trees mixed in there, is you know that you could dig down, you could find a new biome down there, but otherwise on the surface it looks like you're not going to find something for a really long time, which is why it's alarming to learn that this seed has a woodland mansion. Because after passing a baby wolf, do you think baby wolves still attack sheep? They do! Oh, that's interesting. After passing a naturally spawned baby wolf, and a little bit of snow, you'll find something very interesting starts to appear behind the trees, because what is that? Yes, you'll find that is a woodland mansion deep in the middle of a snowy taiga biome. And unlike most seeds, which have a structure you wouldn't expect, this isn't by technicality, because there is no roof forest anywhere around this woodland mansion. The nearest roof forest biome, in fact, according to Minecraft, is going to be 1,379 blocks away, and so this raises raises the question, how is there a woodland mansion right here? And indeed, why is there a path leading out of the woodland mansion straight into an iceberg with also sweet berries attached? Something has gone horribly, horribly, horribly wrong here, as you can probably tell from this. There's a random trapdoor hanging off the edge here, and so yeah, as best I can tell, this is a bug that Minecraft has when enough things go wrong with the game gen. It just decides to skip the biome check on structures. It's something to do with the height and the way terrain generates, but because it was trying to generate a village here, it decided it could also generate a woodland mansion. Also, yeah, this makes no sense to anyone, I feel like, outside of the seed finding community, and I think it's absolutely fascinating that you can go inside of a woodland mansion and find iron golems in here. I want to know, will the iron golems fight the vindicators if they come to hurt me? I guess we have to find out, right? Okay, this is a Vindicator. He wants me dead, and I have no way of resisting that. However, and these are some villagers, will he go for the villagers instead of me? And crucially, will the Iron Golem step in to help? Okay, Mr. Iron Golem, please. Please, Mr. Iron Golem. I have a problem here, and I would like it if you could solve it. Okay, Iron Golem's got me sorted. Boom. Yeah, so yeah, having an iron golem to help you in this woodland mansion is going to be such a different way of dealing with the structure. If you want to get a totem of undying, then all you gotta do is find an evoker and bring him back to the golem. Although I have to ask a question, if the evokers have totems of undying on them anyway, why don't they use it to save their own lives? Whatever. Anyway, this is the most interesting woodland mansion you'll ever go into, and it's also one of the most accessible because it's on this giant, as you can see, ice plains, which means that you can ride around here on a boat to your heart's content. What more is there to ask for an interesting seed? Well, I'm glad you asked, because you might already be guessing what more there is to ask for, because this is already pretty darn wild, right? But imagine you could get some more insane biome skipping checks. Well, it couldn't just be in a snowy taiga or a frozen iceberg biome, but instead, this final seed is perhaps the best example of what I mean by having a new survival challenge. One of the things I love about the Bedrock edition of Minecraft is the fact that it will present you with all sorts of weird opportunities to play Minecraft in ways that maybe even the original designers didn't intend. Because Bedrock has much looser rules on structure collision, if you load up any of these seeds on Java, they'll work in terms of terrain. You'll get the same mushrooms on a fallen tree. Actually, maybe not that one, but you'll get the same birch forest, etc. But you won't get the same structure collisions because Bedrock structures are written to be much closer together, and that leads you to something you'll find on this seed, which looks unremarkable until you travel about 200 blocks this way. Because once you do, you'll notice there is a woodland mansion, again, not in a roof forest biome, and indeed, not in any biome that you'd probably expect one of these, but instead chilling in the middle of the ocean. This is such a ridiculous thing. Look, I'm taking a selfie with it now, and this is even better because what can you find in the middle of the ocean? Well, let's go inside the structure and try to find out. Okay, yeah, I think I found out, actually. When it comes to blue annoying things you can find in a woodland mansion, there's been a monopoly until this structure started to exist, because here's something fun you can do. Dig down from basically any point in the... dig down from basically... One sec. No! I was so close. I was mining that block for so long, it literally became nighttime, by the way. But my point was to say that all you have to do is break down a single block from most of the mansion and you'll find yourself in an ocean monument. This is a particularly cool ocean monument because it's surrounded by cobble on all sides, so once you kill your Elder Guardians, giving you one of the dumbest effects in the game. Why does mining fatigue exist, by the way? And why are Elder Guardians even a thing if they're deliberately so non-renewable? But anyway, the point is to say that once you kill the Elder Guardians with their silly effect, you'll be able to have one of the weirdest mashups of two structures you can find basically anywhere. And the fun thing about this structure is if we go to a different part of it and then try to mine upwards, you'll find a bunch of cobblestone first, but you'll still find yourself directly inside of the woodland mansion, which is just fascinating to me that this can exist in a real Minecraft world. And yeah, if you break down from below the entire thing, which of course you kind of want to, you'll find more cobblestone, weirdly enough, because the woodland mansion surrounds this. And to explain that, it's kind of tricky. And so let's drink a night vision potion and show you what it looks like in spectator mode, because this is what it is. It is a ocean monument which is spawned in the middle of the ocean monument. You know what I'm saying? Ocean monument. The ocean monument. This is an ocean mansion, a woodland monument, an insane feat of what is possible when two structures decide to generate in the same place. And again, it's crazy to me that the ocean monument generating here already be kind of weird. You can see that it's had to kind of carve into terrain, but it's carved into the terrain and then also had the woodland mansion just appear all the way on top, which is just wild to say. And oh, by the way, you know, do I need to mention, it's pretty fun having just these two things here, but also then we've got an amethyst geode right below, and it's also surrounded by cobblestone. And so yeah, if you've ever wanted to go mining with a silk touch pickaxe and not get your hands on regular stone, but instead still get cobblestone, this is the place to be. I really cannot get over just how insane this makes the areas around it. Look at this cave over here, for example. Look at how there's giant pillars of cobblestone followed by giant pillars of prismarine, by the way, offering a great opportunity for you to mine as much of this as you like, going all the way to the end of the world. Also, by the way, is this is this a buried treasure all the way down at Y-54? I need to know what's inside of this now. Okay, so to answer the question, you can get a free diamond, and so if you thought the free diamonds on the other seed were just a little bit too easy to get to, then this should hopefully solve your concerns. Also, water breathing potion, that's nice, and Sunshine armor. What more could you possibly ask for? I certainly can't think of what it would be. And so yeah, if you want one of the most interesting survival experiences possible, how about a woodland monument or an ocean mansion? That's what I would say you can find on this, the final seed from Fragrant Result. Again, I am so curious about how this sort of stuff is found. The exact science behind, Minecraft structure generation is absolutely bonkers, and this seed is perhaps proof more so than any other of that. And yeah, if you want to see more bizarre seeds like this from the absolute broken depths of Minecraft that will specifically work on the Bedrock edition, consider subscribing to this channel, because I do cover a lot of Minecraft, Bedrock, and indeed seeds here on this channel, and I'm always going for seeds which will give you a more interesting experience. My biggest disappointment is that I played the world of no end from the seeds that literally remove the end from Minecraft, and I died like 5 minutes in, so I spent 80 Minecraft days, streamed the entire thing getting there, and then died at the last hurdle. And so yeah, part of me wants to restart that whole thing again, and that's the joy of playing Minecraft on an interesting seed. If you really insist on, oh, there's magma in the ocean monument there. If you really insist on loading up a new seed every time you play Minecraft, this is one of the best ways to do that. Obviously, I'm a big believer that you shouldn't, but that's a subject for another day. For now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good one, because I'll see you tonight for a live stream, actually, on my Let's Play world, my 11-year-old survival world. So come check it out if you want to see me as I'm coming to grips with the fact that with all the copper blocks coming soon, I'm going to need some honeycomb, so I'm going to work on my honey farm. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.